This way I can say what I want to say, and then we ain't got touching it no more. Niggas that listen, they ain't gonna be, oh, this nigga, he's alright. This nigga's.
That's like when I was that dude was talking about Pac. Like, how can you consider him the GOAT?
Check it out and pay attention.
Tune in, www.radiohiphop.com.
RadioHipHop.com, they putting it down one time for your mind. On the RadioHipHop.com, y'all know how the fuck we get down, it's all real. You know what I'm saying? RadioHipHop.com, it's the bomb. Nah, I mean, word up. I'ma smack you in the face if you don't know what RadioHipHop.com is. RadioHipHop.com.
The hip-hop writer is a creator, composing understanding words of cultured brilliance, powering a rebalance of the elements equally. Pages of rejuvenated reaffirmation, simply the almighty leadership of insightful craft work that stands to build through any confrontation born to be. Yet his daily duty is as a journalist that questions properly, uses his ears for the good to filter the real, and as the art decays by dilution, he concentrates the best, again and again, exposing it in the print. Today's journalist and tomorrow's historian he listens to share. Here is that necessary attempt executed again and again and again. Peace. This is Sunez Allah, your host, Skill Illustrator Low, Power Right, on DJ Toshi's Classic Storm Radio. There's not a lot of time that I get to take to build with MCs that are just on the ground floor, just trying to make it. I spend all of my time trying to build with people that have great albums of this decade. I'm trying to catalog this decade. And a lot of people are new, whether they my brother Ka from Brownsville, whether they spit gems, right, you know, right. All these brothers out there. But it's a rare opportunity that I get to build with somebody who I consider really an absolute GOAT candidate. I just finished publishing something on PremiereHipHop.com, and it was about Tupac being a GOAT candidate because people are really weak with the way they think about it. I go through the history of the GOAT. It's not just the slang that LL Cool J came with. It's also something that the media used to classify individuals and turn the King of New York isms that failed miserably for them, and really is an actual proof, a very insinuating proof, if you look at it, that they helped foment this West Coast, East Coast beef. Mm-hmm. You know, because when I was at Vibe, when I was at Double XL, none of these niggas was telling me about, hey, Pac got a One Nation album, because they used to fly niggas wherever they was going to write about it, right? But they never gave me a ticket to nowhere, you know what I mean? Right. So when we look at all this stuff, the history of the GOAT, the way people classify GOAT, the ism that Pac is an entertainer and Biggie's a MC, and Biggie's not an entertainer and Tupac isn't an MC. Those are all shit that they told you. You know, I was in rooms when they told people, we're gonna use this term relevant. Like, that shit relevant. I was there when they was making that shit up. But when we talk about this MC that I have here, you know, he's not a fucking West Coast MC. He's not a West Coast great. He's a legend in hip-hop music. He's a lyricist of exceptional means. And before we go into this DJ Toshi show and hear amazing songs that you haven't heard yet, and I finally get to build with Ras Kass after all these years, I have two things to start with, though. One that proved that, a little bit of proof that Ras Kass is GOAT worthy. And first, a quick news update. News update I always give is that Puerto Rico is still a colony. Racism is still the menace, whilst good music is still the anomaly of our reverence. So, people don't like good music. Puerto Rico is still suffering. I will not stand up for anybody's flag, and I haven't for over 25 years.
Yes, sir.
Now, before we build Ras Kass, there needs to be a little bit of fucking respect. So, here's my GOAT argument, my quick GOAT argument, because I don't have time to do 5,000 fucking words. Right? So, some points here. The majority of the GOAT candidates people argue about, if you notice, people usually have issues with their beat choices. Uh-huh. So you talk about Nas, we talk about Rakim, right? People always complain about their beat choices. A lot of the MCs that we don't complain about their beat choices, they usually have horrible lyrics. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think some of it has to do with like the Ice-T theory, where he would, like he said in his books, where he said he would, in interviews, where he said he would literally want to be the star of the song. Right. But I think there's a deeper thing. I propose all the MCs I've spoken to that have great beats, that have okay beats when we don't give a fuck what the beat is.
Right.
You know what I mean, there's certain MCs we don't give a fuck what the beat is a lot of the times. You got MCs like Ghost where they tend to pick soul sampled beats, and that kind of covers the gamut of their emotions very easily. So if they go through a range of emotions like GOAT MCs do, it doesn't matter because the soul and mixed with the break is gonna cover those emotions and match. But not everybody has those type of beats or uses those type of beats. So what we usually get is my proposal is that we get MCs that are usually go worthy have a variety of beats, and some of them you ain't gonna fucking like because it's not the vibe that you're looking for. And some of them you're gonna love because that's exactly what you want. You know, I learned that when I was really studying salsa and a lot of Latin music, and in the beginning I just wanted high-paced, you know, guaguanco, you know, like fire, you know, just super speed tempo. But then when I sat back and got older, guajiras and that slow shit, I was feeling the intricacies of it. And then I started to learn about jazz, and I started to really understand the different tempos. So then you appreciate those songs you didn't appreciate before. That's my dismissal. So when you say shit about Ras Kass, that his albums are, I don't think Ras Kass's albums are essential where you go, yo, I don't want those lyrics. I just want the instrumental to that album. Nobody's really doing that. But all the beats fit perfectly with what he's trying to do and what he is doing. That's very rare.
Can I add one thing to that?
Oh, absolutely, Raz. Yeah.
You know, I always view the album as a movie. It's like it's this time capsule into my life, what I was feeling, whether I was frustrated, angry, trying to get some pussy, feeling sorry, you know, whatever. It's a range of emotions, as you said.
Right.
And so in a movie, there's different scoring for each scene. You don't have like party music when the fucking hero dies. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's exactly what you said. I never really quite explained it the way you did, which was great, and it really made me manifest. You know what I do. I score my albums because I'm trying to get you, take you to a mood. This is the place I'm at, and everything for me. It couldn't all. They all can't be soul samples. I know people like those, but I don't want to do that because then it may not completely bring you into the mood that I'm trying to set. So I'm just building on with you about that.
And, you know, the second aspect of Ras Kass is that he has multiple great LPs this decade. And like I said in the Pac piece, the GOAT is a living term. And some shit isn't finished yet. And that when we talk about Ras Kass, the shit is not finished yet, and it's really just beginning.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's in the process of making it. Now, what makes, to me, this brother right here, Ras Kass, essential, little notes here, right? To me, I use him as a proof. Like I said, I was using in my peace course at a law school in Mecca. I've used your Nature of the Threat lyrics as a teacher, as a teaching guy. So I'm like, it proves hip hop has a peak of lyricism, where it could be expanded to an essay format. Because I don't have some of the deepest musics like roots reggae. They don't have 300, 400 word essays. You know what I mean? Like in the fucking song. So that's something he did, nobody else did. He excels at all the song formats. Dexterity, subject matter, lyric challenges. When I mean my lyric challenges is when the beat changes, when he deliberately shifts content, when the storyline changes to something that needs more of an abrupt pace, all of these things. I think this too, if I had to judge him, I'd also say Ras Kass changes the punchline into the simultaneous quotables of comedy and commentary.
Right.
I never heard like fucking laugh at your lyric and be like, yo, that shit is true.
Right.
Niggas do that.
Sarcasm.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like a master of that shit.
Yeah.
And you're where I would first go. And then there's also this obsession with what I consider an exceptional sense of relaying logic without hypocrisy. Because the contradictions of life become a natural way of humanity, you know?
Right.
And this is where it relates to what I've been saying about Pac. Pac, a lot of it is because you're judging the soul.
Right.
You know, and you've got a soul man's voice, Ras Kass. The way it goes deep like that, you've got a soul man's voice. The vocal tone, the raspiness, that's abnormally articulate because niggas with raspy voices. I don't know what the fuck they said when the snare hits. You know what I mean? But and the mastery flows. Like just listen to the Semi Hendrix album. I mean, there's so many different tempos on that. It's ridiculous. There's some beats in there. I'm like, yo, damn, he was gonna rhyme on that.
Right. But that's what I was thinking.
The final thing, and to relate it to Pac, and and I think sometimes maybe you capture this more because, well, you're alive and you're thriving, is the natural diversity. Right. That's what we look for in an MC, the natural diversity. He's a human being. He has contradictions, but it doesn't run into this awkward oddity like certain people have their moments.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's natural. It's real. It's a real person. He has songs where he's gonna go fuck. Yeah. He has songs where he cares. Maybe he's dealing with her like a queen. Right. Then he has songs where he's just mad at the fucking white man.
Mad at myself.
Mad at the shit decisions. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And this gamut is very rare. And you know, as we go back into Toshi's first load of music, that's it. And if you want something fucking else, fucking study. You know what I mean? Because we're gonna talk to this brother about this album, Soul and Ice 2, intellectual property that captures everything I'm fucking saying. All right. So with that, peace.
Now you are listening to DJ Toshi. I've
been waiting like 20 years to say that. I haven't been able to write that. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, I've always been inspired though. You know what I mean? But I don't know. When I met because of hip hop, not because we robbed the codes.
That was quick too, like an hour or two.
Yeah, Shabam Sadiq, aka SS, aka S-Dub, you know what I mean? Marvial Entertainment, IG Forever Infinity Gauntlet, Classic Storm Radio, DJ Toshi, that's what it is.
Peace.
Yo.
Peace. Man, peace to Shabam Sadiq and the Low Life family.
Yes, sir.
Peace to the gods and the hurts. Peace. All right. The album is Intellectual Property, Soul and Ice 2.
Yes,
you know, there was some interviews. I know you do. You know, by the way, you do great interviews though, so you really actually talk about shit. But like, you were talking that there's two parts to this, and it seems to me that this focused on the trials and tribulations making the music. And what's the second one supposed to be? How do they contrast?
I think this was more interpersonal. This was a little like, and then it starts off like I always felt I was misunderstood, you know, whatever. Just talking about a lot of it is more about the music part. That this is my intellectual property, and label, you know, record companies have tried to tell me they own me, like some slavery shit, like you know. It's my thoughts. You don't own my thoughts. I own my thoughts. So it's that journey and that struggle fighting with corporate America, and having them try to punish me for standing up for my own dignity. So that's really what IP is about. He played the title song, intellectual property there. The second half, I don't know what I'm gonna name it. It'll still be #SOI2. But and we're pretty much like we're 70% done with that record too, which is it's crazy. I don't want to even go into that one. No, they're both crazy. But it'll be more about worldview. I think Soul and Ice, the second half is more my politics, my socio-political history, all that shit. So yeah, this was my personal, and this will be my my worldview. The second will be more worldview.
Understood.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's funny because it's a skit, and I know you put it in there because it definitely relates to you as well, but Sean Price talking about his development.
Yeah.
When I used to build with Sean Price, Remembered Imperfection, R.I.P.
Yes, sir.
Sean Price used to always talk about how he developed it. He used to tell me because he wanted my students to free write.
Right.
But like this development of like, people put you in this, and I you know, we was talking about the GOAT, and I think that's what separates like certain people, because there's a great MCs that are focused on one lane of subject.
Right.
But and people tend to be more used to that. More comfortable with that. Whereas the MC is you in all these different lanes, they're not as comfortable with that. You know? And
exactly.
I say this, there are things that you may want to say or things you ought to say and things you feel like saying. And I feel like on the album we get all three of those from you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I try to be honest, man. Like I really some things hurt. Kind of expose old scabs or old wounds. But for the most part, I kind of wanted to deal with. And there's some other issues that I deal with on the second one. So, I feel like this is more personal, but there's other personal shit I talk about on the next project too. But these are the things that I needed to kind of get out on this part of the journey. I enjoy Descartes, the duality of man, me dealing with my higher and lower self. So I enjoy exposing that. That's why it's not quite hypocrisy. It's just humanity. Like I'm going to be fucked up.
Well, it's interesting you said that because people are always trying to like eliminate or use the music as therapy to eliminate a version of themselves.
Right.
And you're embracing it though.
I'm me. So I might as well talk about the dumb shit I do. Because I said it on something. I said I got vices that I like. On the Apollo Brown album. So that's true. I got some vices. This shit I do that I know is wrong, but I like pussy, and so I'm gonna fuck it, and I'm not gonna get married to it. I mean, you know what I mean? So I accept some of my flaws, and they give me my character.
Well, let me ask you this about the I think it was the What Would Jesus Do? Trade Places. I feel like in this album it captures a lot of your career because those two songs they are like a lot of songs you've done where you expertly put people in and say, what would it be like if you did this?
Juxtapose.
You think it's easy to be me. What if you had this and that? And you often do that. And I feel like that's a theme of the album as well.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's definitely trying to have compassion and trying to see things from a different vantage point. And I always tell people like, we can be climbing a mountain, and I use this with religion a lot of times with people. I say, let's say we're all climbing, we're all at 10,000 feet. But we're on different sides of the mountain. We're still going up. We just don't have the same vantage point. So I could say, oh, there's a crow's nest. I mean, there's an eagle's nest. You're like, nah, it's a fucking billy goat. And then the other niggas like, you ain't on 8,000. You ain't at 10,000 feet. You ain't at 10,000. Like motherfuckers don't understand that we all can be reaching towards something and still have our different vantage points.
Understood, definitely. I wanted to ask you what you think is success and what are those keys? Because I feel like reverse engineering, Beautiful Mind, they kind of give small clues. But if I was to ask you straight up, what do you think are the keys to success? And, for an MC like you, what are those keys? What is success?
I mean, for me, I have my personal goals. When you said that GOAT conversation, I feel as if I have not gotten the credit that I deserve. Let alone for Soul on Ice. Golden Child was an amazing album. Ras Assassination was an amazing album. Eat or Die was an amazing album. I keep making these really good projects and people kind of sweep them under the rug and then discredit me. And then also, there's the financial part of that. Like, you owe me some money. I want my bread. I want the respect I deserve. I mean, the heads, the true heads, people such as yourself, I'm a humble dude, but I still know what I deserve. So it's getting that. And success is being able to do whatever I want as far as helping. Like, I enjoy helping other people. So I would like to be able to do the things that help the people that I want to help, including myself. I think I deserve I don't need 2 Bentleys. I don't even necessarily need 1 Bentley. I just want the car that I want. Today, I don't have the exact car I want. I want a fucking Maserati. I ain't got it right now. So I want the Maserati. Just having financial stability. I think that's what all humans want. Just food, clothing, shelter, and stability, and that it's comfortable, that it's a nice house. It doesn't have to be the biggest house on the block. Just your version of nice. So my success is that. And just being able to, help, like I said, helping the people that I want to help, being able to take a vacation when you want to and say, hey, I want all my friends to come with me, or I want my entire family to go. I'll cover it because I love you guys and I'll enjoy your company and thanks for having my back.
Understood.
I want to do that. That's success for me.
I had another thought. On the album a lot, you said a lot as a battle verse, that you're the future. You said that a couple of times on the album, and like when we look at hip hop now, we look at it so bleak, like this shit's dead, like it's just done. Shit. You keep saying he's the future.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like how does that work? Like, you know what I mean? Like because it feels like something that you really see. You know what I mean?
Sorry about that. I'm over here rolling some shit. I got this vice. No, really, I think I am the future, and at the end of the day, I have sons, man. I got twin boys who are 19 that are nasty, so they can't kill me. I'm alive twice already. You know what I'm saying? And these motherfuckers got darts. They won't stop me. It's too late.
Oh, that's peace. That's peace. You know, there was one of the deepest songs on it. Even though you said you would have issues, more worldly issues, the Sycamore Tree really was a powerful one. And you said something that, you know, and it's funny. It's one of those, again, where MCs, they say stuff that are like, yo, damn, that's really what we've been thinking. Where you said that, you know, there's no Christians in the Bible Belt. They're all racist.
Who want America all by themselves.
Yeah, and it's like they say that, but all we don't see anybody with any kind of Christian values that they say are Christian values.
There's nothing that Christ spoke about that any of them act on. Mm-hmm. They love money. I mean, like they worship money. They're racist. They won't help the poor. What the fuck? They have nothing in common with Christ.
Right.
And then they think he's white. So they really got life of bullshit twisted.
Yeah. It's a wonderful bubble, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know, and
these are the same Christians, by the way, that, you know, would go to church Sunday, but Saturday they had lynched the black guy and cut his dick off and cut his fingers off.
That's right.
There's no Christians in the Bible Belt.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's a powerful and exact statement, though, to say that as a continuation. The generation has continued in that vein in many respects, and they've been ignited by Trump. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But you know, on another respect, you know, this idea of the contradiction, I think it has also become a farce. This idea of being a complete man and almost ridiculed, and I think you capture a lot of that really with Kanye moment. You know what I mean? In a funny way, because I think, and I said this too. I had a piece that I wrote. I think it was last year. I said that Kanye was the nigga Maguire.
Yeah.
Because he's his own agent, but he's also the football player. Like he's both niggas there. Like,
right.
He's nigga Maguire. He's a nigga running, but he's also, you know, has to present himself to everybody.
Right.
And so I understand a lot of the feeling as a black man just going through all that. But it really becomes a caricature. It becomes a cartoonish thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like when you said you had the Kanye moment, it was funny is that a lot of those lyrics, they really like, yo, well yeah, you know, Ras Kass deserves that shine.
Right.
That's what makes
it's my rant. I'm going on a rant, but I put it in the position. I created an avenue for me to go on a rant. Everything I said on there, I meant everything I said. I said it's nigger music. It makes me ashamed to be black listening to some of this music. It is. Some of it makes me ashamed. And then they got little white kids, black kids singing this shit, and it's coon talk. Like, I don't like that shit. So I did my rant, but instead of sounding bitter, I created an avenue for it to be fun. And even the chicks are like, I like that song, and I like that video. I'm like, I tricked you into listening to me. That was really what the goal was.
Yeah. Oh, man. And I think we gotta, we got the end to what we thought Sway should have done in the first place.
Right. You're right. He wanted to. He wanted to, bro.
You know, because Sway was really being nice to him.
Oh, don't you remember? He was like, look, bro, we can cut these cameras off and handle business. He ain't no punk.
Right.
He's professional, but he ain't no punk. So that shit was funny. So he knows the guy that played him. So Sway got a laugh. I sent him the video and he was dying like, yo, you're fucking funny. He's like, oh, Cleve was me because he's from Oakland too. Yeah. And then I had Numbskull from the Loonies playing Kanye. We actually did blackface on him. That was funny for a light-skinned nigga. Darker. That shit was funny. Totally hilarious. We're all happy about that video. We think it's funny.
Yeah, this shit worked. It surprised the hell out of me, yeah. Because I didn't, when I heard the album first time, I didn't read the tracks list.
Right.
I just played it and did shit.
Right.
And I was like, what the fuck is this beat, man? And then it said Kanye moments. Oh, Raz is on some shit. And I'm glad you did a video for that, though. It's a telling video of this generation. You know
right.
What I mean? But we were talking about success, and I think like success is in that philosophy of boredom that
right.
you talk about.
Right.
You know what I mean? Explain that a little bit.
Yeah, boredom is and I forgot to really mention that. You know, the boredom is the experiences. Like I have these I allude to some of them, like being able to, Big L taking me, like, yo, Ras, come with me. Come to this fucking after hours. And I'm in Harlem, and they really got a fucking roulette table. And this band just goons and bad bitches. And, like, that won't happen again. That's crazy. My drinking a pint of Hennessy with Big Pun, man, that's crazy. Just me and him. I got a pint. He like, yo, let me hit that. Like, yeah, fuck it. Let's drink, nigga. Then we end up shooting shit, rhyming with each other. It's just kicking it, though. That shit. My talent and my character got me those opportunities and will continue to get me other great moments in my life. Not sucking some nigga dick to get on or get famous. So that's why boredom is different than stardom.
Right. And it's fun. Something I heard you say once, though, and I find it to be true as a journalist, just trying to take the time to document people's, histories. And a lot of the greats are real peace.
Yeah.
And a lot of the niggas with like one song is fucking dicks. And that's more than likely the ratios. It's usually 90% right. And that's just ridiculous. You know what I mean?
They don't realize it can go fast. I think, when a lot of people that win, and especially with no discernible talent, you hear the people like, fuck rap, I don't care. Then why are you in my craft? If you don't give a fuck about rap, why are you rapping then? I'm a hustler. Go hustle somewhere else, man. Get out of here, cause your shit trash anyway, and you really making it. We don't really make wax, but you remember they used to say stop wasting wax, but you're wasting like the intellectual property. You're letting bullshit advertise in your space. And, like, I hate whack niggas because they just keep. I don't even hate them. They're embarrassment, and they're advertising at a space that I should be feeling or somebody else should be feeling. Not necessarily me, but somebody else could be there making an entertaining record, a good record that ain't just talking about complete niggery. I don't like listening to niggery.
Absolutely.
I mean, Scarface said gangster shit, but I mean, Bun B, whoever. I mean,
it was creative. It's creative.
I mean, G-Rap, one of the greatest storytellers ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's better people to do it than some of these clowns, and it's usually the new guys. And then, a lot of times with a lot of them, they won't be around next year. I always challenge I challenge chicks and young dudes, and I'm always like, what was the hottest record 3 years ago? They can't tell you because it's microwave music.
Right,
it's really hot. Yeah, it's really hot for fucking that 3 months. Then something else is really hot. They get a good run. They make a shitload of money. They waste it. They tricking it because they all at the club throwing it out to strippers that they don't know because they think it's going to continue to be that kind of cash flow. And then the cash flow stops. And then they don't have another single because it was just that one corny ass record they made that one white man pushed the button on. And a whole bunch of 13-year-old girls that think they Rihanna bought. And then that's it.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And, I say this for the listeners that listen and know, when we say stuff like especially in the 90s, when you say like, the white man, signed off on the record, that shit's true.
Yeah.
Like, I was really at places where I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And I said, that's the motherfucker that's gonna like it.
Yeah.
But he wasn't here the whole time.
Right.
He wasn't here the whole time. And then all my internships, all the interviews I did, I was like, who is that guy that just said you can't do that?
Right.
I don't know who he is. I never saw
him. And usually
him.
some guy from the parent company, and he decides he's gonna decide your life. He's gonna push a button or not.
Absolutely.
And he plays. I got in trouble because I said, and I believe the Source magazine, I said, the owner of my label's a cool guy, but he can't tell me what to make. He's a fucking. I said he's a 50-year-old or 40-year-old white guy that sniffs coke and plays hockey. And he got mad at me. he was butthurt. But I was like, he doesn't listen to rap. He doesn't. So how the fucking... He's supposed to be smart enough to invest and find people that know what's good and then invest in that. I understand him as my boss, but I don't understand him as my peer. He's not Rick Rubin. It's not like he's making shit. He's like hands on the... on the ground being creative. Like, dude, go sniff your coke and play hockey. He had a Gretzky fucking jersey framed and signed. You don't listen to rap, bro. You don't.
Yeah. I see that. And like people say, those trials are over. We make our own music. You're independent.
Yeah.
What are the trials now with creating music? Like, what's the worst problem?
It's hard because marketing. The internet is a double-sided sword. I mean, everybody's campaigning for your attention. Now we have sponsored content on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like, they still will outspend you. That's what the competition is. That either you got to do something completely moronic and get on World Star, or something really silly that has nothing to do with the craft, or you're gonna get outspent. So it's still the same game. It just got digital.
So I noticed that there's almost no barriers to you making the record you wanted to make.
Right.
But then that whole next step is
It's
fucking
getting
new war.
people to hear it. Like,
Exactly.
how do I compete for your attention? And everybody. So now I'm competing with the 22-year-old girl and well, that's what Viral is about, the song. So now I got to compete with the chick who gets 500 likes because she got like half her nipple showing, and she's in like Wisconsin, and she's a toss-up bitch, but niggas is dick hounds, and they're gonna like her shit and ignore mine. And I'm doing content that I spent money on, and whoever, DJ Premier or Pete Rock just made the beat, and niggas just like, oh, well, that's cool, but I really like that chick's nipple. It's rough, man. It's still a fight. It's a fight. I mean, I don't complain about it, but you asked me, so I speak. You know, I'm speaking on it. But yeah, that's totally what Viral is about. It's like this uphill battle trying to get people's attention, and when you're being outspent. And I don't have the McDonald's money, but I always tell people like McDonald's and Toyota and whatever, Chase Bank, they got pens, nigga. I just seen it. Like, they always market. And they got a lot more money to market. Yeah, here it goes. So, yeah. Why does Chase need this? Because they want you to take it and remember, oh, I should bank with them. It's marketing. Like, if I could, I'd have Ras Kass everything. It'd be Ras Kass t-shirts, condoms, matchbooks, guns. People like guns. Ras Kass pussy. It'd be some pussy bitches that you could just, they be tatted on their forehead and on the ass, right there. Yeah, all day. Ras Kass bitches. Yeah. And you buy my shit. Album drops.
Where you going? I'm going downtown. Give me Ras Kass.
Bitch, yeah. In the club. So, you know, it is what it is.
You know, because we're also dealing with like the 20 years since Tupac passed, right? On the same day. You also said on Bardem, you know, where Tupac called Priority Records to get 60 tickets for the show, you know, and this was after. What was the story behind that? This was after.
This is Pac's not dead yet, and shortly thereafter it's gonna happen. But I was on. See, I'm on the song with Chino. I'm on Riot where he said the Pac line. So Pac already. Well, Machiavelli wasn't out yet, but also I knew because I already heard it, and then the Outlaws came and told me like, and the homies from Thug Life was like, yo man, Pac went in on your boy, so Exhibit, so shit's got something for that nigga that made Paparazzi on Bomb First on the first song on the album. So I'm like, fuck, I'm like, I'm next. I'm totally next. Cause I'm on the Chino. I got 2 strikes. So I'm on the Chino song, and then I told them like, I kind of put myself in the crossfire, and I was like, well, tell Pac, Exhibit song is like 2 years old. Like we ain't like him where he could put out a record in like 2-3 months. Back then that was a short. And then his secretary calls up like, Tupac's on the phone, and I'm like. I'm like, you talk to Tupac a lot? He's like, no. I'm like, it's like, okay. It's like, he wants 60 tickets to Ras Kass show Friday or whatever the fuck it was. Mind you, it's like a Wednesday. And I'm like, 60? That's a lot. He might be coming to fuck me up. Honestly, that's what I'm thinking, but I'm like, well, if I don't get him the ticket, you know, he doesn't know I'm there. He's calling the owner. If he doesn't get the 60 tickets, it might make him want to come with 100 niggas. So I'm like, he's like, what do you want to do? I was like, give him the tickets. Oh man, so yeah, he didn't even come to the show. A lot of the Thug Life homies came or whatever. He didn't actually physically come, but it was all peace. It was, you know, I think he was supporting me. That's the crazy shit because we have a mutual family. Like Money being Digital Underground, like that's all like the first people that embraced me before I had a record deal, and he always talked highly of me. So it was dope, like, you know, to know that, you know, somebody who I was so in awe of thought, you know, like I'm the next nigga, like Ras the future. You know, a lot of these niggas be haters, but you know, dude wasn't no hater on me. You know, a lot of times a lot of rappers have hated on me and producers got love for me. because rappers feel threatened, like I'm gonna take their spot, which they should feel threatened, because I am gonna take their spot. Fuck them. If you're a corny, not cool nigga, and your rhymes ain't up to par, you need to go anyway.
Yeah, that's a fact. And that's peace. You know, the intellectual property, where can they get this? You know, we have the Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Right? We have the iTunes.
If you want physical, you can go to Bandcamp, raskass.bandcamp.com for the physical CDs. We have a limited amount, and once those sell, which we're pretty close to having sold, I might make like a slim case, you know, reissue, but only these will be like the 6-panel,
right,
you know, special for the people that fucked with me, pre-ordered, helped me with the Indiegogo, and then, you know, had a few others remaining. But you can go to iTunes, I think it's Google, whatever it's called, some kind of Google store or something like that. It's available everywhere, man. Oh, you can also go to that'shiphopmusic.com, because they sell it there, and we partnered on the digital distribution. So you can get it direct from the source there. That's hiphopmusic.com.
That's peace. You know, and Raz, we know you have to go somewhere and keep building. You're only in New York for a short time. I just want to say thank you for the music, the catalog, the excellence. You know what I mean? Because as a writer, you inspire. You know what I mean? It's been an honor to listen to your music, write about your music, and just be inspired to write shit off of just the spark. You know what I mean?
Thank you for being able to use nature to thread. You know, with the
definitely,
nature,
and it fact checks out. You know,
right?
At the end though, you get the 100% score. Yeah, it was like, nah, you just wrong with that shit. Yeah. You know, but for those out there, this is an MC that is in the middle of making his career. You know, go back and get other records. If you don't get this one, get the other ones, and then get this one.
Right.
Get this one and go back.
Get
and get the other
Blasphemy, Apollo Brown. Get
there's so many powerful records. You know, filled with lyrics. You know what I mean? And this is an MC that doesn't keep. You know, he says he doesn't do features, but there's a lot of great features with you all over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Certain MCs aren't scared, like the God Planet Agent. You know what I mean? Like, So there's MCs that aren't scared. You know what I mean? But with that said, I want to say peace to you from Paragon, from DJ Toshi, from all of us here. It's definitely an honor.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.
Now you are listening to DJ Toshi.
It's a collection of essays from the God's Nerds. Jamal does the intro. So I got a couple of essays in there myself, so I just wanted to give you a book.
I love my niggas like I love my fam, and I'm turning atheist, but it's just God's plan, and I'm probably just a mortal, but not just a man. I'm a spirit, I'm a will, it's possible.
My reading material when I get on the plane.
That's what's up, man.
Peace. This is DJ Toshi's Classic Storm Radio. I am your host, Sunez, aka Skillustrator Low, aka Power Right, because the pen is right all the time, anytime. We just finished one of the great interviews with a great MC, Ras Kass. What an honor it was to build with him, to let you all know about intellectual property, Saul and Ice 2, his humility, his grace, his understanding, and his fortitude. That's what makes him a great MC, is his fortitude to what he understands, his fortitude and conviction to speak his mind. And really the work to make sure that what he says is really on point and isn't just rantings of a lunatic. You know what I mean? It's some crazy ass nigga that's having his own Kanye moment. Right? But you know, with that said, DJ Toshi has hope you enjoyed another week of Ill Joints. Peace to my brother Paragon, PremiereHipHop.com. Please go to that. Please do the knowledge to everything that Paragon does at Celestial Productions. If you need artwork, stop getting your shit looking like trash. Stop making great music and then having like these weak ass covers. That's why we download the shit. You know what I mean? We put pictures of our children instead of the album cover. That's how bad the album covers are. You know? You know, so look out for Celestial Productions. Go to PremiereHipHop.com. Follow those links. You know, go to check DJ Toshi's Classic Storm Radio every time. The podcast is long. We have over 200 episodes. And now we have another interview with Ras Kass, a legend, and who I say, and who I think I proved briefly here, is a GOAT candidate. Peace.
I gotta go now. Y'all take it easy. Bye-bye.